Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to present you today the company Siyata. It is a very special webinar day because first we have a team of Siyata here with us. And the other point is that usually we are talking about, okay, our TASSTA application or even other hardware vendors, which are having mostly smartphones or rugged devices and so on. And this time our focus is very much on in a mobile device, which is usually fixed in a car or in a truck or something like that. Welcome guys. Hi Michael from France. Hi Gidi and hi Glenn. So I'm very happy to see you today. Gidi and Glenn, I think we never met in person, but it's good to see you. And yeah, tell me
Yeah,
guys,
definitely.
how was 2020 so far for you?
Waiting for it. And
Yes, 2020 has been a crazy year for us too, Kaveh. Thank you very much for the opportunity to present today to you and all of the people that will be watching this video. We're very pleased to do that. And yes, 2020 has been a very unexpected year for ourselves individually and ourselves for our company as well. But like TASSTA, we are working through as best we can. And so yes, if you'd like, we can dive right into the content, the presentation, and
Yes.
I'll share the screen so that everybody can see. And your introduction was very accurate that we have a very unique solution that is focused on the in-vehicle market. And it's a solution that works very well with the TASSTA solution. So we're very pleased to do that today. So I'll share my screen. And let's see here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can.
Can you see the screen now?
Yes, excellent. You want?
Okay. So this is a introductory slide that just shows the picture of the device, and now we'll dive right in. So this first slide just gives you a little bit of company background information on Siyata Mobile Inc. We are a leading developer and provider of cellular communication systems. And all of the products that we offer are focused on enterprise customers, first responders, and very much it's focused on push-to-talk over cellular technology. We were founded in the year 2012. Our headquarters are in Canada. Our CEO is listed there, and we do our R&D in the country of Israel. And we have two brand names that we use, and this is important to understand. For most of the world, we simply use our own brand name, Siyata. However, in North America, when we're selling products in North America, we have licensed and we use the brand name Uniden. So the product that we're going to speak about in a moment, our flagship device, the Siyata UV350, for most of the world, that's how it is called. But in North America, we call that same product the Uniden UV350. So if you hear me reference Siyata UV350 or Uniden UV350, it's the same product. And on the right side of this slide, you can of course see some of the wireless carriers that we are working with today.
May I ask how it comes that you chose another name for the North American market?
Yes, yeah, great question. We did that because in order to break into the North American market, in order to get the North American carriers interested in listening to our story, it was very important for us to have a brand name that they recognized and understood. I don't think we could have got to even started the selling process with carriers the size of Verizon and AT&T if we just went in with our Siyata name. They would have said, who is Siyata? What is Siyata? But with the Uniden brand name, that was a name that they knew and understood and recognized. And so we were able to break into the market using that brand name. And I would also say that unrelated to push-to-talk, we have another product category that we sell that is cellular boosters or amplifiers. And we do use the Uniden brand name a lot for that because that tends to cross over a little bit into the consumer space. And so having a recognizable consumer brand name for the booster lineup was also important for us.
Okay, interesting, yeah.
Yes. So this slide here shows you our sales ecosystem. It shows you who some of our partners are, and you can see again we've listed some of the wireless carriers with a particular focus. Most of those, obviously, not all, but most of them are North American focused. And we also, so in North America, we tend to sell to the wireless carriers, and then the wireless carriers would resell our product to their customers. In addition to that, we have a few distributors in North America that we work with as well. And those are listed at the bottom.
And you mentioned that the company was established 2012. So it was always in the same segment, or did you do something, let's say, also different?
The way the company actually got started was, and it's actually an interesting story, back in 2012, you'll remember at the time, that was the switch from 2G products to 3G products. And at the time, the company Motorola, they used to sell Motorola Mobility at the time, had some phones that were 2G and 3G that were in-vehicle car phones, if you will. And Motorola at the time had been sold once and then twice. Ultimately, it got sold to Lenovo, and Lenovo was only interested in maintaining more of the consumer products that they were offering, and in-vehicle car phones did not meet their definition of what they wanted to maintain, so they effectively were closing that part of the business. Well, our CEO was asked by some of the wireless carriers to source an in-vehicle car phone because he was distributing, and he was unable to find a suitable product, and so we ended up hiring some of the former Motorola employees and ultimately designed and developed at the time a 3G car phone back in 2012. And since that time, we've sold in the hundreds of thousands of in-vehicle devices. But eventually through that time, we went and developed a 4G car phone, and that's the device, a 4G in-vehicle device, the UV350, and that's what we'll speak about today.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I think we can probably say also that recently we added to the list of mobile carriers TASSTA in Australia, right?
Yes, I hope they were on that first slide that I showed, but yes, definitely Telstra in Australia is another partner of ours. This slide here shows some, and it's probably no surprise to you, Kaveh, that because our device is an in-vehicle product focused at commercial and enterprise type customers, it's probably no surprise that these are the kinds of customers that we focus on. And if I look at the icons on the right side of the slide here, public safety, school buses, public sector, construction, transportation and delivery, and I could go on and list other markets, but these are the kinds of customers who are well served by our product because our product delivers some real benefits for these markets, which we'll discuss in just a moment. Now, with traditional land mobile radio, traditional two-way radio that companies like Motorola and Sapura and ICOM and Tate and Hytera, that they've been selling these products for many, many decades, we see three shortcomings or limitations that traditional two-way radio offers that we believe push-to-talk over cellular can address. And the first one is excessive and redundant hardware. When we look inside of our customers' trucks or buses, we often see multiple electronics, multiple devices all mounted in the cab near for the driver to use. It could be a navigation system, it could be a corporate phone, a fleet management tool, a traditional land mobile or two-way radio, a CAN bus black box, and potentially other products as well. All of these products are single purpose, And it's often difficult for the driver to manage all of that technology. And so we believe that push-to-talk over cellular solution for design for the vehicle would be a better solution because it can replace some of that excessive and redundant hardware. The second limitation that we see with two-way radio systems, of course, are limited and incompatible LMR coverage. One example we've often shared is a large customer that we've sold with the support of AT&T in the United States was a county, and they were using them for yellow school buses. The county had good coverage within their county, but when they had to drive students to a neighboring county for a field trip or for a sports event, they were unable to get coverage when they left their own county. And that's very typical for two-way radio. It's often there is coverage within a shorter area, but not usually wider area coverage for traditional two-way radio.
Yes.
And then the third limitation that we see is limited functionality. They do a good job at just two-way radio and broadcasting to a group from one to many, but in terms of some of the other things that our customers are interested in doing, usually they are not able to do that with a narrowband two-way radio system. So those limitations are a real concern for the LMR market for sure.
Yes, from your presentation so far, I can say that I can 100% confirm, and it could be also from our side that exactly we are expanding the coverage, we have more redundancy, and we have, many more functions compared, let's say, to the legacy systems and the radio networks. And that's absolutely correct.
I agree, Kaveh. I think push-to-talk over cellular really, and specifically your TASSTA solution, really extends the capabilities for many of these fleet vehicle customers that we target with our solution. And so on this slide, you can see the Siyata UV350 in-vehicle device. We believe, well, it was the first at the time, first in-vehicle smartphone device that offers 4G LTE capabilities. And the key thing is that this was specifically designed for an in-vehicle environment. And I'll get back to that in a moment. That's very important. But as a Android smartphone, it's able to not only support the TASSTA push-to-talk application, and we're going to demonstrate that at the end of the presentation this morning, but it can also support other Android apps that fleet operators will want to use. One of the key differentiators that make this solution especially important for our customers is the audio. We deliver very loud and clear audio. And if you're driving a very large truck that has a noisy engine and perhaps a full load of gravel in the truck behind the driver, there's lots of noise. And so therefore you need a device that can be loud and clear so that the driver can hear the push-to-talk conversation, the TASSTA push-to-talk conversation, or even a regular cell phone conversation. And so we like to say that we deliver best-in-class audio for our customers. It's the loudest and clearest solution out there.
So the hardware you produce yourself, right? I mean, to make sure that it is very loud. So you are not relying on, let's say, any vendor for accessories or something like that.
You're absolutely right, Kaveh. Our solution is one integrated solution, all from us, all from Siyata. And so we control what speaker we include. And I'll show you that we actually include an external speaker, an external palm microphone, an external antenna, which is another key differentiator. This is one of the very few products in the market that supports an external antenna. So we include an antenna right in the box that is a round antenna. I'm actually based in Canada, and so hockey is very popular here in Canada. And so we like to say that the antenna is the size and the shape of a hockey puck, and it can stick to the inside of the windshield. But we also have an optional roof-mounted antenna as well that can go on the roof to provide even better coverage so that when the vehicle is driving around in an area where the cellular signal is not as strong, they could be much further away from the cellular tower, and with that roof-mounted antenna, they will still be able to reach the cellular network and continue the TASSTA push-to-talk call or whatever they happen to be doing on the phone at the time. So that's an important differentiator as well. The other key thing is that this product is hardwired, permanently installed inside the vehicle. And that's an important benefit to our customers because they know that our product is going to be always there, always on, and it's actually hardwired so that it's powered by the vehicle battery, so they don't have to worry about temperature extremes in the hot days or the cold days, because our product will work. It's simply powered by the vehicle battery. So we have our products working today in extremely cold northern climates, and we have our product working in the heat of, well, even in the Middle East, so very, very hot climates as well. And that's important for our customers. They can count on the fact that our product is always there. One other thing I'll point out about our product that's very important for our customers is driver safety. And we've built this product in a way that is very safe for drivers. They don't have to manage 4 or 5 pieces of electronics because our product can actually replace many of those single purpose products that we saw in the photo previously. And so it's only one device to manage as opposed to multiple devices. And we'll actually share later that one of the customers that we've already sold to was a case study where they had 2 or 3 devices in their vehicles and they replaced them all with the UV350. But it's also safe because we've designed some key one-touch buttons that are important for the driver to use. For example, we have a button right on the top of the device, and in this picture it's a little hard to see, but there are 4 buttons right on the very top, and one of those buttons is a GPS button. So if the driver is on his, he's out driving around, maybe he's making a delivery or he's wherever he happens to be going, and if he gets lost, rather than on the phone that I carry around every day, a typical looking phone like this, I would probably have to unlock my phone and then find the Maps app and launch it and so forth. It would be 3 or 4 or 5 button pushes for me, but on our phone that's easily accessible to the driver, it would be one push of that GPS button, and instantly Google Maps would come up or Waze would come up or whatever app they had defaulted that button to launch. And that makes it far easier and safer for the driver, and it allows the driver to keep his eyes on the road and his hands on the wheel.
So principally, there are 4 programmable buttons, right? So that I can
actually,
choose?
So no, they're not programmable. There is a up volume and a down volume button. There is a GPS button, and then there is a button on the right that can be either Google Voice style, or it can even double as a push-to-talk button if needed. So that's the only one that you can set either way. But largely, the functionality is fixed to be up, down volume, GPS, and then Google Voice style.
Because I'm asking many of the, I mean, we as TASSTA, we have also, our own maps. So
yes.
If that button is directed to Google, maybe some customers are saying, okay, I don't need to have Google because I have the map in my application. So
Right.
Is it possible to program that button also according to our requirements? I mean, something like that, or is it only going always to Google Maps or Waze and nothing else?
Giddy, I'll maybe defer to
the
you on
button
that question.
for GPS, yeah, the button for GPS is actually sending a navigation intent on the Android, meaning any application that identifies as a navigation application will be prompt with this button. So if you press it and you have 3 applications for navigation installed, the first time you press the button, it will ask you which one do you want to assign to it, and you will select that one, and it will be the default one, just like any navigation key on Android.
Yeah, I think we are coming also to the device with Giddy, who is more the technical, deeper expert about it.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on here. These are just some of the photos of the vehicles that we've installed our products in, and we like to think that the bigger the truck, the more likely that they will want the UV350 device, because the trucks are noisier and there's more background noise, and so they need a product that will work very, very well.
Yeah, that looks quite impressive. Nice.
So here is a comparison chart, because obviously there are other solutions that can be installed inside of a large commercial vehicle. You can see the Siyata UV350 on the left column, but right beside that, other products that could be used would be a regular smartphone in some kind of a car kit. That's one option, and you can see that there are some greens and some reds for that particular solution. Also, a two-way radio, or an LMR radio that we spoke about a moment ago. There are some limitations there as well. Next, we're comparing to a rugged tablet that is mounted inside of a vehicle. And lastly would be simply a router or a modem to provide internet access in the vehicle. And you can see that the Siyata UV350 stacks up or compares very well with all of those other solutions that are available in the market today.
What is the extended cellular option?
You know what? We have two ways of improving cellular. One way is through using the roof-mounted antenna that I spoke about earlier, and the second way probably is less applicable to Europe today, but in North America, I mentioned earlier that our company also makes cellular boosters. We actually have a booster that can go inline and plugged in, wired between the UV350 device and the external antenna, and it will amplify the cellular signal so that they can be many, many kilometers away from the closest cellular tower and still maintain the call. So that's maybe a little more applicable to North America, but if there is a requirement in Europe and other countries, we can look at providing an in-vehicle booster that will support those frequencies as well.
Nice.
Just a quick comparison as well. This is kind of saying similar information to before, but definitely the UV350 in all of these comparisons will be able to deliver better in-vehicle audio quality. And the question that you asked at the end, you'll see, Kaveh, you asked about, are we using other third-party products to do our solution? No. Our UV350 compared to, you see in number 1 there, the last bullet says that UV350 is a complete integrated solution, not pieced together. So we are one supplier delivering the full solution.
Mm-hmm.
The UV350 provides a lot of things to our customers, specifically CapEx and OpEx. The capital expense and the operating expense usually is less compared to when they were using two-way radios, because many of our customers are owning their own two-way radio system. So you can see a quote from one of the customers it's a United States customer. They actually found that when they switched from a two-way radio to a POC solution, that they saved money both at the CapEx line and at the annual OpEx line as well, because they no longer had to maintain their old two-way radio system. But at the same time, they were able to gain functionality because they now had Android smartphones in their vehicles. They were able to gain safety, and of course, the big thing was they were able to improve their network coverage simply because they were now working over a large cellular network, specifically the AT&T network, as opposed to just their small two-way radio network that they were using before. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on this because we're going to do a product demo at the end of the presentation, but I'll leave these links in the deck so that the viewers will be able to click on either of these and see. The top one is a YouTube promotional video about 2 minutes long that shows our UV350 device in action. And then the bottom link is something that actually shows a UV350 installed inside of a bus. And you can move the mouse around, and it's like a 3D virtual tour inside the bus to show you all of the components fully installed. So not only the device, but also the external speaker that goes under the dash, the cellular call microphone that would be mounted by the visor, the push-to-talk palm mic that would be used for TASSTA PTT, and the external antenna at the top of the windshield. So all of those components are there, and you can click on that after the fact and see how all of the components look for the driver.
Nice. Good.
So this slide shows you all of the components that come inside the box when a customer buys a UV350 device. They get not only the device itself, but everything that the installer will require to get this kit installed inside of a fleet vehicle like a truck or a bus or whatever the vehicle is. The only, and I'll just quickly go around the circle, you can see the external antenna that I spoke about earlier, all of the cabling, wiring, even the screws that the installer will need is there, a swivel mount to allow the product to be installed in any location, a microphone on the right side, that's the microphone that would go on the visor for cellular calls. There's a large 20-watt external speaker that delivers very loud audio, and even an auxiliary audio cable if they want to connect to their car vehicle stereo system. And then the product itself even has a slide-on sun visor to cut down on the glare for the driver so they can easily see the display. Beyond the standard bundle package, we have a number of optional accessories that some customers choose and some customers do not. And that's on this slide here. And the very first item, the wired palm mic, is the recommended accessory that we recommend to customers when they are interested in using push-to-talk over cellular. So in most of our sales, the customer is interested in push-to-talk over cellular, and so usually they're buying the UV350 device and the wired palm mic. That would be the normal sale for us. However, some customers prefer other PTT solutions, and you can see we have some other wired solutions and some Bluetooth options as well. So we have a wired PTT button, even a PTT foot pedal, and then in the middle you can see we have a Bluetooth RSM, remote speaker mic. We have a Bluetooth PTT button. We also offer an SOS button, and I should point out as well that with the wired palm mic, we now have two wired palm mics, and one of them includes a second orange emergency button on it. So we have a single wired palm mic button or a 2-button wired palm mic. And then on the right side, there's a few other boosters. Again, the inline booster is primarily targeting North America, but also we have the outdoor antenna that goes on the roof and an antenna adapter for customers that need that. We've also configured our UV350 in two other ways. 95% of our sales are obviously for vehicles and they get installed in vehicles, but sometimes customers ask for it to be installed just simply on a desk to be able to do dispatching from that. And in fact, this is the demonstration unit that you're going to see in a few moments that Giddy is going to show you, and it will look very much like this, but essentially it's a desk-mounted UV350 device. And you can see not only is there a PTT palm mic that we will use for the TASSTA PTT demo, but on the far side of the device, there's a privacy handset. And again, that is for cellular calls simply because the mic and the speaker are mounted so closely together that we don't want audio looping through the speakers. So we provide a privacy handset to make sure that if the customer needs to make a regular cellular call, they can do so easily with our product.
And can the device also run with Wi-Fi? I assume yes, right? Or no?
Yes, it can. Yes. It's an Android product, so yes, it can operate over Wi-Fi as well.
Okay.
The third configuration that we offer is our UV350 mounted inside of a rugged case. And this, you mentioned about Wi-Fi. Also, another aspect of Wi-Fi that's important is because it's Android, you can even turn the device into a Wi-Fi hotspot. to allow other devices to connect to it. And you can see the rugged case is important because it can be taken to anywhere remote, and it does have a large 13 amp hour battery inside, so it will last all day long. And once again, the UV350 device is available for remote use using the what we call the MDU, or the mobile dispatcher unit.
Okay. And does this box also comes directly from your side, or do the customer?
Yes, it comes from Siyata, correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So again, this is an integrated solution. That's right, Kaveh. It's an integrated solution directly from us. So you would be able to purchase directly from Siyata either the installable unit for the vehicle, or what we call the DDU, or the desktop dispatcher unit, or this one that you see is the mobile dispatcher unit, the DDU or the MDU.
Nice.
I mentioned install earlier, installation. This product definitely does require professional installation, and we can definitely work with the TASSTA team to help on any deployments, but we do have installation guides and even an installation YouTube video that we can offer to help people to understand. For people who are used to installing products in vehicles, this is a very easy product to install, but it does require a professional, and we would work with your teams to train the right people so that they can easily install it, and we can of course support them with all of the sales tools that we have.
So if a partner wants to do, let's say, an installation, usually it's even, you have the facility to provide him, let's say, remote access and, I mean, remote training, I would say, to do the training.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Potential fleet apps to download. Probably the most important one is push to talk. And that's up in the top corner. And of course, the TASSTA push to talk solution works very well on our UV350 flagship device. But there are other applications that some of our customers like to consider as well. And they can go and download, because it's an Android device, they can download the app that they're looking for onto the UV350 device and use those as well. So I've shown you a variety on this slide. There are even others, but there's lots of apps that some of our customers are interested in using. And again, the main reason why they want to do that is so that they don't have to install single purpose devices in addition to our solution. The UV350 can really replace what they're looking for. Real quickly, 3 case studies. One of our customers that we sold was in the United States. Again, it was a school district in Florida, and they were using two-way radios with palm mics. They found the cost of their two-way radio network was going up and up. They found that the radios in the buses needed to be replaced, and they also found that the network equipment, the repeaters, the towers, all needed servicing, and they were actually struggling to find technicians who could properly service that for them. They found that the UV350, when they did a trial, it delivered excellent audio quality. It gave them the coverage that they were needing and high reliability. And so they actually deployed the UV350 with an MDM, a mobile device manager, and they actually rolled it out in about 1,000 yellow school buses to cover that large county in Florida. And so now they're considering another app, specifically a safety app, to run in addition to their push-to-talk over cellular solution. And for the bus drivers, it was a very easy transition because our product with the palm mic was something that they were very accustomed to using when they were using two-way radios in the past.
Yeah, I think that's a very important point which you mentioned, is the maintenance of the devices and environment. Because usually if you have, let's say, some radio equipment inside and so on, you need really, radio professional guys, and they are not very common on the market, let's say.
Not anymore, they're not.
Yeah, not anymore. And yeah, but with this kind of devices, yes, every young person understands Android and this technical environment. It's just it's just different, it's it's very, very common understanding right now.
That's right. A second case study was for a paratransit minibus company. They used, their company would drive around people that either were elderly or they were physically handicapped in some way. And they would drive them to their doctor's appointments or hospitals or wherever they happen to be going. They used to use two-way radio for voice, and they used a tablet that was mounted in their vehicles for dispatch to send the message to the driver that said, go pick up Mr. Smith and take him to this location. Well, the tablets, the drivers every morning had to go into the office and pick up the tablet and carry them out to the truck and mount them in the vehicle. And then at the end of the day, they had to take them back into the office and they had to put them onto charge for the next day. And they were finding that their tablets were breaking and getting lost and getting stolen. And it was a problem for them. And so ultimately they decided that they wanted a new solution, and they selected the UV350 with push to talk over cellular, and they downloaded the very same app that they were using on the tablets onto the UV350 for dispatch, so they were able to consolidate two devices into one. And it removed the problem of having to bring tablets back and forth to the trucks. Now they have their product always ready and always on. The other thing I would point out, because our product is hardwired, the UV350, when they start the truck or the bus in the morning, our UV350 automatically powers on. And when they shut off their truck at the end of the shift, the UV350 automatically powers off as well. They don't even have to remember to hit a power button on our product. It's always on and always ready, available for the drivers. And that's what this particular customer really appreciated.
Yep. Nice.
And the last case study, again, it's a push to talk over cellular customer, but this was a construction company, and this company bought other construction companies, but the problem was that each company that they bought were using a different system for communications. So they decided that they needed to put that all together in one system so that they could speak to all of their vehicles in one way. And ultimately, in these large construction vehicles, they found that the UV350 did the best job with push to talk over cellular to allow them to communicate with all of their vehicles, even in very noisy environments. That was very important too. I'm not going to go into this in a lot of detail, but we do have some sales tools available. Today, we have them available in English, and very shortly, we will have some of the sales tools available in German as well. And of course, we have some YouTube sales tools and install tools and so forth. And I've included Michael Talub from our company and my own contact info at the bottom of the slide, so that if you need to reach out to us, we can definitely support you.
Okay, excellent. So let us go first to the to the real presentation, right? This is
right. I think Giddy, you have a product all ready to be able to demonstrate for them. So
yes, of course.
Over to you, Giddy.
To PowerPoint people, you know, and tell them how beautiful your stuff is. But by the end of the day, if it comes to reality, things might change. So yeah. So now, yes, let us have some real demonstration to get a good idea.
Hey, okay, so I'm not going to show my screen at the moment. I'm going to share with you a second camera, which is pointed at the device. This device, as you can see, this is actually the DDU unit. It's connected to the power outlet. The same unit, same device that sits in the vehicle. This is just an easier way for us to demo the device in meetings and in offices and so on. So this is the device. You see the sun visor installed on it. You see the device has an RSM on it. This is the RSM, very easy to use, very comfortable. You can see on the screen, it's a standard Android device. So all the apps, Google Play Store, everything is there. And we have here the very special TASSTA app installed on the device. So we can open the application, and you can use it through the application, or you can use it in the background, just like any situation. So let's do a small demo. I'll press the RSM button. Hi, Ran, can you hear us? We're demoing the device now. and you can see that the volume.
I can hear you.
The volume is very loud. Probably doesn't go through on this presentation. Thank you, Ran. How is the weather on your side?
Actually, very cold right now, but we're okay.
So you can see the volume is very loud, and you have the speaker is inside the box here. This is the simple RSM unit that we have. Again, this has the second button on the side for emergency calls. We have also the privacy handset, which we said you can use if you want to make privacy calls. It could also be used on.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you loud and clear. Thank you. You can see on the device, I want to show you the buttons on the top. If you can see them here, you see there's the volume buttons, you have the GPS button, and you have the navigation key. The voice dial key. Now I want to show you one more thing, what Glenn mentioned about the ignition. So we have on this unit a button that emulates the ignition of the vehicle. So if I power off the ignition, right now I powered off the ignition, the device goes into a power off state.
So that's like turning off the truck. Turning off the truck.
Exactly. So it's off now. The vehicle is off. The device is off. You leave the vehicle. You lock it. You do whatever you need. You come back to the vehicle. You turn on the ignition. Turned it on just now. Within 3 seconds, it turns on the screen. A few seconds more, you're connected. You can see the cellular signal is already up there, and now the application is logging in. So the TASSTA application, it has a setting inside where you can set it up to automatically load, automatically connect, and everything, and then you have the application load on your device. And again, you see it's connecting now, and you're ready to go. I didn't set up this setting for the demo, but you can set it up on the device settings. And then you're ready to go. You can just make the calls, and you don't have to mess with anything else.
So Giddy, I guess the neat thing is that the customers don't have to wait for a long time, a long Google boot up procedure, like an Android boot up procedure. They can be able to make cellular calls instantaneously and push to talk calls in a matter of a few seconds. So it's very easy for truck drivers who are in and out of their vehicle.
Exactly. It makes it very easy to use the device, and they don't have to do anything. I mean, the driver just turns on the vehicle and starts working. He does not have to turn on the unit. With LMR, many times they have to turn on the unit, the LMR unit. They have to set up stuff before they start working. If they use a handheld PTT device, maybe they need to connect it to a charger, put it in a cradle or something. With this unit, they don't have to do anything. Just start the vehicle and drive off.
And which Android version is running on the device?
So this device right now is running Android 7. We are releasing Android 10 very soon. It doesn't really matter much on the device because you don't run games or many complicated applications. For most applications, it's very sufficient. But we do have an update coming out for Android 10 later on.
Very soon means end of next year, or you go 22, or?
Oh, first quarter of 2021.
Okay.
Beginning of the first quarter.
Excellent. So basically, so the people are maintaining the same device and having their updates and running on. Or is it the automatic update, or is it going to be, does somebody need to do something? So how do you upgrade the device? Is it over there?
So the device is just like any standard Android. We have a photo service on the device. So if you're assigned an update, you will get the notification there's an update for your device. You can select to ignore it, or you can select to update the device. And once the download is ready, it will tell you to start that it wants to perform the update. You press OK, and it will update the device. Because our customers are unique customers, they're not just a consumer user. Not every company wants their drivers to do an update on the device. Some of them think that if it works for them, don't touch it, leave it as it is. And some of them want to update when there is some significant update for them. So based on the customer bases, based on the operators that we work with, we will release the updates to the devices.
Yes, I think so too. I mean, as you mentioned, especially for your user case, because Android is bringing more upgrades out, but it's mainly for power and energy efficiency and so on, which is absolutely not important for, let's say, a vehicle device. Yeah, it's
Yeah, this, like you mentioned, this is an in-vehicle device. You have to be thought, everything needs to be thought of. I mean, it's not a device that if you do something wrong, they can come into the shop and replace or do anything with it. It needs to be done properly and responsibly for every vehicle.
yeah, perfect, perfect. I mean, and this is the only device you have, right? I mean, or do you sell also other devices?
So Kava, yes, we also sell other devices. This is our flagship device for the in-vehicle category, but we also, in other markets of the world, we sell rugged handheld devices. That's our second product category, and we have a couple of models today, and we're working on some other rugged handset models for 2021. And then, of course, I mentioned the third product category, the cellular boosters as well. So in-vehicle, rugged handsets, and cellular boosters are our three product categories.
Yeah, it's very impressive because it's, I mean, if you have only one device, so it needs to be quite perfect that you can run as a company successfully because you have only one shot. If that's not working, then you have a serious problem.
Yeah, well, that's why it's not.
That's right.
It's not a one device company. We have various devices, even for vehicles and for handhelds and for boosters.
And Giri, you mentioned in the you mentioned that okay, there will be an upgrade to Android 10. What else is Siyata planning for 21 or 22? What is allowed to say? Let's say, I mean, 5G might be something.
So 5G is in our thoughts, of course. We have plans for devices with 5G on 2021. We have thoughts of MCPTT devices for 2021. Both for in-vehicle and handheld. So look out and check us in the future, see what new devices we're releasing.
And I know, Kava, you're very, very familiar with MCPTT. Some of the viewers may or may not be. Mission critical push-to-talk. That's a higher level of protection in terms of the security, and that will be coming from us in 2021 as well.
Excellent.
Exactly.
Excellent. No, it's I mean, it's very good to hear that you keep the things professional, and because we have this standard now according to GPP, and it's also for us as TASSTA, it's very important to make the difference, right? Because how can we say, okay, we are really in this mission critical environment if we are not keeping the standard? So it's I'm always very happy to hear if vendors are following the same path which we are doing since now also I think over 4 years. We are going to every plug test and we are pushing the borders and we try our best to, and somehow I would say you need to, if you are deserving it, right? Then if you are doing something special, you are working harder than others. So it's always positive usually. Yes.
And your webinar on MCPTT was very fascinating. So we're going to complement your MCPTT support with our devices in the future.
Perfect. Thank you. I'm very happy to hear. Yeah, we are going, it's this year trained us to do and think different than the previous years. We did usually around 15 exhibitions every year, but we said, okay, there is no exhibition anymore, how to go out, and we started to have webinars principally, and then yes, we could win Harald for a special session for this training to share knowledge, to provide information to all the users, and I'm very happy that you participate in that one. I hope that we are going to do further ones next year, so we are still in the planning process, and and this is our next step also with you, that we want to share your ability as a producer, as a hardware vendor with our viewers and with our users and partners, that because we as TASSTA, we don't care principally what kind of solution the customer is using, honestly, because we say he should just use the best. And if we are not good enough, he should not use us. That's as simple as it is. And
Definitely.
we need, for a perfect solution, yes, you are part of us principally, because it's important to have the right ecosystem. And yes, if the devices are perfect, then and software is perfect, then it comes together and everything is good for the customer. And it doesn't help to have only half of it, because then, you know, then you have a similar situation what sometimes you mentioned in your presentation, and that, yeah, you have the radios running perfect, but if you don't have coverage, I mean, it's quite useless. You know.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
And you press the button and nobody's asking, nobody's talking, you know, there's nobody inside.
Yeah.
Very true.
Good, good. Yeah, from my side, thank you very much, gentlemen, for the presentation. And it was a pleasure to seeing you on this way. Hope in 21 we have an option to meet in person. Yeah.
Of course.
We hope so very much.
Yeah, we have. I think we can be positive about that.
That's right,
Right.
Kaveh. And
Beyond
again,
our
on
control.
behalf of, yes, and again, on behalf of
And
Siyata, thank you for the opportunity, Kaveh. We really appreciate this. On behalf of Giddy and Michael and myself, we're happy to be able to do this with you and the TASSTA team and all of the viewers who will get to see this. We hope that it will really help us to be able to work together more closely.
Absolutely, you are more than welcome, and thank you for creating this piece of hardware, which is supporting us also, and the users to have the perfect push-to-talk experience and emergency experience in the car. And yeah, stay safe and hope to see you soon somewhere. See you guys.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
You too.
If I may add, Kaveh, I want to thank you very much. Apparently, you are a good CEO of a push-to-talk company, but also a great interviewer, I must say. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cheers.
So, see you. Bye bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.